Hey, this is your girl Blair with Cooking with Blair, and this is my 9 vegetable soup. So here are all of the ingredients that I'm using to create this soup. They are all organic. So I'm using this during my Daniel fast. I am not eating any meat, so I need something high in protein and something that's really tasty. So I've chopped all of my vegetables. I have my bell peppers, onions, garlic, and whatnot. I did not use the chipotle chili, by the way. It just was too strong. So start with that olive oil and make sure you put all of your veggies in that you've chopped and saute those veggies. Now what you're going to do is saute them to the point where your onions are almost transparent. So you want them cooked a good bit, like so. And once you get to that point, you can add your tomatoes. So it's about 4 cups of tomatoes. This is actually some grape tomatoes, organic from Trader Joe's. And you want to cook them for just a little bit. So maybe a little under 10 minutes just to kind of get them soft and get them going. So you won't have to cook them so much while you're cooking your soup. And you want to just continuously stir those around. And some of them will become a little bit mushy. They'll start cooking on the bottom. You don't want to have your heat too high. So this is like a medium high heat. And you can adjust, as you see fit. So this is the vegetable broth, organic, low sodium, fat free. So you will have to add some seasoning. I put actually 2 quarts of vegetable broth into this mixture. So 2 quarts of organic broth, and after that I made sure that I added my frozen vegetables because I did use some corn, and you'll see that in just a moment. So I found some sweet corn from Trader Joe's, which is really good, and it's fairly cheap there too. Most of the vegetables are. So you just add that on in. This is, let's see, this is only about 1 cup of frozen corn. Okay, after that you can add your chickpeas. Make sure you drain them first. Do not put that water into your soup mix, okay? So make sure you drain those. Do not put more than a can. This is a 16-ounce can of chickpeas because it can be very overpowering, but this is your protein. Okay, after that I'm adding my lentils. So this is only a cup of lentils, which to me was a little bit more than what I wanted to put in. So you can kind of lessen it just depending on if you like it to be a very hearty soup or not. Keep in mind that I am fasting, so I would like it to be a little bit hearty, but it was pretty thick. But anyway, I've already cleaned and separated those lentils, so I've taken out all the extra good. So here I'm going to put a tablespoon of chili powder, a tablespoon of ground cardamom, and also a tablespoon of salt. So you may need a little more salt because remember, none of these things are seasoned, so you will have to add it to your liking. So once you stir that around and you start letting that mixture come to a boil, you can see that as it's heating up, those tomatoes are floating to the top. And that will happen while you're cooking this soup. So you may have to smash your little tomatoes. So you add 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. As you can see, that was a hefty tablespoon because I do like the tomato paste. And it's not a very thick soup. So that will only add a little bit of thickness. So here you add some black pepper. I just pretty much just sprinkled it on. There's really no measurement. It's really to your liking and how spicy you would like it. So I probably put about a teaspoon of black pepper. And this is just ground black pepper. Nothing fancy schmancy. Just make sure you stir it in really well. Because what you're going to do after this is you're going to bring your mixture to a boil. And as you can see all of those lentils? It's a lot of stuff in this soup, okay? So once you bring it to a boil and you see those tomatoes to the top, cover your pot and reduce your fire to simmer. Now, once you really start cooking that down and you kind of see how the tomatoes are cooked and they're not floating to the top anymore, they're cooked down. I've cooked it for about 45 minutes at this point. because adding your spinach is the last thing that you want to do, the very last thing. So this is 3 cups of spinach. I've already rinsed it. It is fresh, it is organic, it is the good stuff. So I add it in slowly just to kind of let it cook a little bit at a time. And another trick, if this happens, so if your tomatoes are just kind of like floating on the top and you know that your soup is cooked to your liking, I take the back of the spoon and just smash those suckers on the side of the pot. And there you have it, a hearty meal.